Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Got some more people coming in. Love to see everybody all.
Oh my goodness, big crowd, huh?
Big crowd today. Yeah, because everyone cares about the arts. Everyone's excited.
So tomato and meat and basil.
Ooh,
I would like
tomato and basil sounds good. I'm not sure who that is though.
Yeah,
I
that does
know.
sound good.
Yeah, there we go. You might want to mute yourself if you're ordering your lunch. But tomato basil soup sounds great. So awesome. Well, welcome everybody. We'll get rolling, let people jump in as they come. I'm not the normal host of this. I'm the guest host. My name is Ben Van Camp. I'm the vice president at the Chamber Collaborative, and I'm excited to have such a strong response to today's session. We have a wonderful pool of speakers that are going to really, I hope, get us really excited and fired up for a return to the arts, maybe as they kind of once were, and get some normalcy back to our lives. I know I have certainly missed lots of things, and the arts is on the top of that list. Days like yesterday made me think of sitting on a blanket at Prescott Park, listening to a concert or attending a show. So I think there's a lot of things to be excited about and enthusiastic about. So we are recording this. Feel free to drop any questions you have in the chat. Other than that, let's try to stay on mute so that we can hear from our speakers. Couple upcoming quick chamber things to highlight. We have some great stuff in the works over the next couple weeks. This coming Wednesday, we have a session led by one of our business coaches on how to manage people in a remote environment. So if that something you might be struggling with, that's going to be on Wednesday the 17th at noon. The following Wednesday, the 24th, we are having a public policy session at 8:30 in the morning, and we're going to hear from the statewide Chamber of Commerce on some statewide legislative issues that we might want to know about as a business community. We have another Chamber Chat Live on the 26th. And that one, it has a topic. Oh, we're going to be hearing from about the results of the SBDC Business Resiliency Survey, and our friends at the city, Nancy Carmer and the Economic Development Commission there have had them drill down to just the Seacoast and Portsmouth area, and we're going to hear the results of that. We did that a couple months ago, and it's fabulous when they did the first survey, so we're excited to share that with you in 2 weeks. And then just a little bit down the road, but I want you to think about it and mark your calendars. We have an Economic Outlook event with the Director of Economic Development for the state of New Hampshire, Will Arvello, on the 6th at 8:30 in the morning. That's going to be a hybrid event. We're going to have a small group of people attending in person from the Seacoast Rep Theater, and we're going to be streaming it from there as well, so everyone else can watch from their home or offices. And then also to highlight on your calendar would be April 14th. At 8:30 in the morning, we are going to welcome Governor Chris Sununu for a State of the State. And I'm sure many people have questions for Governor Sununu, so that would be a wonderful time to talk directly to him. And he's always fabulous about taking questions and giving straight, honest answers, whether you like the answer or not. But he's always perfect at doing that. So mark that on your calendar. That is the 14th at 8:30 in the morning. So that is the business of the day, and now we can turn it over to some more fun things. So we are here to talk about the arts and hopefully a return to some live events and theater and all sorts of stuff. And I know there's been some announcements and concerts are being announced, and there was even some changes announced yesterday by Governor Sununu about crowd sizes and how many people can be in a band, and there was all sorts of stuff that came out yesterday, and I heard a little bit of it, but I'm sure our esteemed guests know a lot more about it. And I would venture to guess that our first speaker knows a lot about it because he keeps his finger on the pulse of this stuff. So we're going to invite Russ Grazier to share a little bit with us. Russ is one of the co-chairs of the city mayor Blue Ribbon Committee for the Arts and Nonprofits. Did I get that right? It's a long one.
Yes, you got that right.
All right. It's fantastic. So I'll turn it over to Russ. That is a relatively new group, and I'm anxious to hear what they're working on and what they're hoping to achieve here.
Thanks, Ben. Thank you for having me today. I'm really excited to hear about what's going on with all the arts groups within the community. I didn't hear the specific guidelines yet from yesterday about band sizes, but I have a new band. It's called Super Spreader, and the band gets larger with every performance we do. So by the time we get to 2025, there should be about 2,000 people in the band, but we're starting as a duo. So we're going to get there bit by bit. So I think we're okay right now. The Blue Ribbon Committee on Arts and Nonprofits has been meeting on Monday afternoons at noontime via Zoom. And the first thing I want to say on this call is that the meetings are public and open for anyone to call in and be a part of, as well as having public comment. And we do want to hear from artists and arts organizations in the community, especially those who aren't represented already by members of the committee. So, you know, if you're connected to an arts organization with the community, or are an artist, or are someone who cares about the arts within the community, I encourage you to come check out some of our meetings and bring any topic that you'd like to address to the committee and speak to us about it, because it's a really open, transparent process that we're really excited about. Our focus is trying to act as a liaison between the arts community and the city, and identify ways that the city can help arts organizations and nonprofits in particular, but the arts community at large as well, throughout the recovery process from the pandemic. And I choose that word carefully because I think too often we're talking in terms of reopening. And in reality, we kind of are reopened already in a lot of cases, and we're going to be reopened in most cases by this summer if we aren't yet. So I'm looking at it, and I believe the committee for the most part is looking at it from in terms of recovery. How do we recover from the ramifications of the past year and the ongoing challenges that we're going to face as we come out of this pandemic? It's not going to be like flipping a switch, and arts organizations are not going to recover overnight. So we really need to be conscious about the ways that the city can proactively work together with the arts community, because as we all know, the arts sector in Portsmouth plays a significant and meaningful role in our economy, and it plays a significant and meaningful role in our culture. So I co-chair this committee with Barbara Masser, and there are many committee members who are on this call with us today who I so appreciate for the time and dedication they put in to making things happen. Right now, we're focused on surveying the arts community and audiences. So some surveys are going to be coming out very shortly. We've already surveyed a lot of organizations, really trying to get a better understanding of where people are in comfort levels from an audience perspective, and in operational levels from an organizational perspective, and how the city can best help them. We're also working very closely with the health department of the city to make sure that we have fair and equitable practices as far as health expectations and guidelines across the board for all arts activities within our community. And the city staff and the health department have been amazing to work with. They're wonderful people. They care more than you can imagine about what's happening in our community and what's happening in arts and culture in our community. So we're really proud and happy to be working with them. So that's kind of my quick summary of what we're up to, Ben. Thanks for having me. I'm looking forward to hearing from everyone today about what they're up to. Thanks, Ben.
Well, that's fantastic, and I would echo those comments. I have been in far more meetings with the health department than I ever thought I would in my lifetime in the past year, and they do genuinely care not only about everyone's health, but they also understand there has to be a bit of a balance, and we have to bring people back and get things ramped back up. And it, like you said, it's not going to happen like turning on a faucet. It's going to be a ramping process, and we're excited to see some of those things come to be. So we are going to jump in. We're going to spend a few minutes with each of the arts venues and organizations that are on the call today. And we're going to hear what their thoughts are and what their plans are as of today for the spring and summer, and maybe a little bit beyond that if they're thinking that far. But we all know that everything, if anything we've learned in the last year, it's that things change, right? And things may change. Things look great right now, and hopefully they continue on that path. But I think we all know that things could change for the better or for the worse over the next couple months. So we are going to start with none other than Mr. Lee Frank with the Prescott Park Arts Festival, who had a big announcement this week. I was going to sing like a good man, Charlie Brown, but I'm not It's not in my skill set. So I'll turn it over to Lee to talk a little bit about Prescott Park.
Thank you, Ben. I appreciate it. And thanks for inviting us to participate today. I also am not going to sing any songs from the musical, but yes, we were very excited to make that announcement this week. Felt like some semblance of normalcy with us announcing that we're doing something, which was very, very exciting. So that's the good news right off the bat, is there will be a season in Prescott Park. We will be in the park this season. I wouldn't necessarily go so far as to call it a normal season, but there will be one. You know, added to all of the challenges that everybody's facing right now is that, you know, we residing in a public city park like we do, also have a lease agreement with the city. And so and I need to echo what Russ said about working with the city and with the health department in particular and the city manager. They've been amazing. They said right off the bat, you know, that with their priority and their preference was for us to be back and to be able to have a season. We just need to figure out how to do it safely. And we're in the midst of doing that right now. So it will be different. There's no question about that, but we do intend to have a full slate of offerings from the musical that we announced earlier this week, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. We expect that our Monday night movie series will come back. It may even expand to not just be a Monday night series, and we will have concerts as well. So it's, you know, clearly there's not likely to be any, you know, of the enormous 3,000, 2,500 to 3,000 person concerts that we've had in Prescott Park in the past. Not only is it not safe to gather that many people, but frankly, you know, the festival isn't in a financial position to bring acts of that size and stature into the park this season. That's not to say that there won't be quality concerts in the park. There certainly will be. You know, I talked a little bit about it being different. We, a few weeks ago, when there was still snow on the ground, we're out in the park, the small staff that we have and me, and we had cans of spray paint, and we were out there spray painting what we could imagine being and will become pods that we will have and that people will need to reserve. So we'll certainly have crowd size restrictions and limitations. Unlike the past and unlike what we obviously prefer, it won't be the free-flowing come and go atmosphere that the festival usually is. There'll be, you know, we'll need to have reservations. We'll need to be able to do some contact tracing. We're still working on what all the logistics of that will look like and how it will all work, but we're confident that it will. Based on that spray painting exercise I talked about, we feel that in the regular footprint that everyone's probably familiar with of the festival, that being the lawn right in front of the stage and off to the sides, and then also including the whale lawn, we feel like we can fit right in the neighborhood of 500 people safely and separated by 6 feet. Well, it's looking like we'll have 1, 2, 4, and 6 person pods. That's our plan. Folks will be able to reserve those and bring their own blankets and chairs as they always have, or to reserve a Prescott Park blanket or table. Again, just details on that to come. We are very grateful that we have an existing food app, mobile app for smartphones that we've used in the past. That will be the way to order food this season. It will be delivered to pods. And as I said, we're working with the city, and they have expressed flexibility in expanding that footprint that I talked about before, to be able to have some admittedly obstructed view, but still able to be in the park and enjoy the show. Pods that will be outside of the footprint, specifically perhaps behind the merch booth out over towards the Hubby Fountain, and then also the lawn that's sort of around even further beyond the sight line from the whale lawn, sort of between the Shaw building and the stage. So more on that to come as well. So we also, as some of you may know, we did some drive-in movies last summer over at Blue Mermaid in Kittery and at Wentworth Douglas. I don't know that they'll be at those 2 locations. They may or they may not, but we do anticipate that there will probably be a continuation of some of those drive-in events. And there's a possibility, and I don't want to get out ahead of myself because we haven't gotten this approved yet, but we expect that we might do some events even earlier than what our normal season might be, smaller events, sort of so that we can test drive some of those rules and regular, reservation systems that I talked about. So we're very excited. We're doing something, and we're excited to have a great season. So we hope that we'll see all of you guys there.
Well, I'm excited about all of that. And I did have a question for you.
Sure.
Was A Good Man Charlie Brown selected because it has a smaller cast size, or was that not part of the consideration process?
Definitely part of the consideration. It was selected for reasons other than that, but yes, that was definitely
Sure.
part of the calculus for sure.
Awesome. All right, we're going to come back. We'll come back to questions later. We're going to jump gears and head over to the West End, to the New Hampshire Theater Project, and hear from Genevieve, who's going to share a little bit about what you have going on.
Wonderful. Can I share screen?
Maybe. Hang on.
Well, while you're figuring out if I can.
Yes, now you can.
Oh, excellent. All right. I thought that it would actually be, well, let's see. Can you all see that?
The whiteboard, yes.
Oh, you're seeing the whiteboard. That's not
Yeah.
what we want.
I thought you were going to draw us a picture. I was going to be really.
No, I'm not going to draw a picture. All right. So that's not working. So never mind.
Okay.
Well, as you know, we're a 50-seat house, and with the COVID-19 regulations, we can have 10 to 12 people in the audience. So that's not financially feasible. We've basically been closed for the past year, but we've been doing lots of new and exciting things and lots of collaborations. So what's coming up? I thought I'd just show you the website, but you're just going to have to listen to me. We had back in June with New Hampshire Gives, we raised $11,000 to put on a new piece, which we called We Don't Know What This Is Yet, because we had no idea what it would be. We've been interviewing people throughout this year, and it's manifesting in 2 iterations. The first one is already up on the website. It's a podcast series where we interview community members. The first one is Alyssa Margolin, who is a fundraising consultant. And then an artist, we commissioned an artist to create a piece based on that work. And the first artist is dancer Amanda Whitworth. So that's up on our website. It's free, or you can find it through Spotify or any of the other podcast platforms. And there'll be a number of those coming out over the next month. And the next iteration of that is a new play called The Uncertainty Principle, which will be based on all of the interviews we have done. If anybody would love to be part of that and wants to be interviewed, contact me, because the more the merrier. It's going to be, that'll come up in June. We have also commissioned, well, I do want to say that in this year of artists being out of work, we realized we have employed 70 artists this year in our virtual and live stream programs. And we're pretty proud of that. We commissioned 3 artists to do new solo works. And the last one of those is going up next weekend, Peter Josephson's. It's a one-man version of The Tempest. It's quite amazing. There are a few seats available in the theater, but mostly that will be live streamed. In April, we're collaborating with the Music Hall to do our 5th annual storytelling festival. We've got local favorites like Pat Spaulding and Sharon Jones, and some guest artists, Simon Brooks, Diane Edgecombe, and we'll be performing at the Music Hall, and that will also be live streamed. In May, we've got a collaboration with the Seacoast Mental Health Center, one of our programs on how the opioid crisis affects families. That's open to the public and free of charge. And what else? The summer, again, collaborating, PMAC is putting up a tent in our parking lot, and Russ will tell you more about that, but we're hoping to have our Comedy to Mike comedy series, Couch to Mike comedy series there, and some play reading. And we've also been talking with the Prescott Park Arts Festival about doing another play there. We'll see, that's all in discussion. And as for the fall, we're waiting for the new guidelines, and we will see what happens. But check out our website and contact me if you want to get involved.
Awesome. Do you want to drop your website into the chat so people can?
I will do that.
Can do that. Awesome. And I love tents in your parking lot. I just have a certain soft spot in my heart for that, because I think we were probably the first to really do that. So
On the hottest
cool.
day we've ever experienced in New Hampshire.
Oh
Yes.
my word, was that hot. Awesome. All right, so now let's go to Beth at 3S Art Space and hear what's going on down there.
Okay, thanks, Ben. Hello, everyone. I wanted to just mention that I agree with you, Russ, that this is all about recovery and maybe not quite a return to normal right away. But I think it's a recovery and hopefully a little bit of a reimagining and sort of a revamping up. We actually at 3S Art Space have had the gallery open since last July. So we have been governed by all kinds of different reopening guidelines. Since we have Barrio on site, they're dealing with restaurant guidelines. Our performance space has been shut down to public events since March 13th because of performance space guidelines and the capacity restrictions in terms of how they affect us. As a venue with 400 standing and 200 seated, the restrictions all go to seated events, and we're all required at this point to put on seated events indoors. It's the best way to manage the pandemic. I understand that. But it takes us from full cap of 400 down to about 50. So we're at 12.5% capacity. So indoor seated events really wasn't something we were willing to look at yet or able to look at yet. But in our gallery, we've been able to offer that opportunity safely to the public since July. So, and we've also been able to honor a lot of our artist contracts and offer them the opportunity to exhibit in our space. And it's given us a wonderful opportunity to focus some energy there. And for those of you who have not been down recently, please know that there are 3 artists on exhibit right now in our gallery. You can drop by on Thursdays and Fridays. We are also open for private viewing Saturdays and Sundays. So it's an easy online sign up. You can just come down with your family, with your friends that you feel safe with, have a private visit for 30 minutes and just get that little like soul food that you need. And it's free. Of course, we have a donation box out. Of course we do. We really certainly hope that you will contribute to 3S so we can continue to support artists. But it is, again, it's an opportunity for you to just take a little break out of your day and see that. And if you're not ready, we have started doing 3D tours with a wonderful company out of Portland that we've been partnering with. So from the comfort of your own home, you can get online, you can visit our gallery through 3D tours. And in addition, when the work is for sale, and that's not always the case in the main gallery, as some of you know, we do a lot of installation-based work in the gallery, but when it is for sale, it's now for sale directly online. So we have increased our online purchase components. And so with this group of artists right now, there will also be a virtual Meet the Artist event on March 31st. It will be moderated by Karina Kelly, who used to be one of the co-owners of the Stelling Kelly Contemporary Gallery in Manchester. She sits on our gallery review committee, and that's another free opportunity to join us. Continuing on with virtual artists, one of our favorite spring events, Ben, is Yard Sale. And I think a lot of you have had some exposure to our Yard Sale, but it is a spring clean for artists. We basically said, okay, artists, we know you've got a studio that needs a lot of clearing out. You've got inventory. But the worry for artists is once they put it out there at a discounted rate, it really decreases the value of their work, or they're not going to see the return even on their own investments. And so for us, we reduce commission for our Yard Sale event, and artists reduce price, and the public scores a deal. And that's really the whole thing. If you are a new art buyer, if you are a collector, this is the event you want to attend. And we, artists have really started to look out for this. So we put up, and it's a sign-up event, it's not a juried show. We put up our link and we were over capacity later that day. it didn't even go overnight. And we will be offering 50 artists and supporting them through not only sales in-house, but online. So again, through an online retail format. It's a limited sale opportunity, April 29th through May 9th. You can shop in person at 3S for this artwork, all discounted at 40%, all 40% off fair market value. Or you can shop online, and after May 9th, it's gone. And so we really love the art sale. You'll start hearing that in a little bit. And then maybe some of you saw yesterday, we had our first wave of announcements for the Loading Dock concert series, which is coming back, reduced capacity like last year. So again, it is ticketed, seated, very safe. 10 tables of 4. It has a very intimate feel with enough space around you, but in a very festive environment, I think, because you've got kind of outdoor dining too in another area. So there's still that summer vibe, but you have space around you and you're close enough to the performers to really enjoy the music. You're never too far away. It's just great. And we put 8 shows, 4 acts on sale yesterday. We are almost sold out on those. We will be pushing out the next wave next week, and you'll see additional concerts and activities in the Loading Dock area this summer that might go even beyond the traditional Loading Dock format.
That's fantastic.
So that's that.
I like the term yard sale too. You got a lot going on at 3S, which is fantastic. I sadly, I did not know the gallery is open, so I will make a point to come over and check it out sometime soon. I think I missed that one. Awesome. Well, thank you, Beth. Appreciate it. All right, we're jumping over to one of the trustees of the Seacoast Repertory Theater, Jason Goodrich, who I believe is like the development person there. And you guys have been doing renovations during this time and have a brand new lobby and bathrooms.
Yeah.
It's phenomenal. So let's hear all about what's going on in the Seacoast Rep. And you guys have been going strong for quite a while.
Yeah, I actually saw my first show at the Sea. It was actually Theater by the Sea at that time. I saw Romeo and Juliet in 1986 as a junior in high school, and that ignited a love affair with theater that I did not know was there. And so for me to be able to now, serve on the Board of Trustees and the Blue Ribbon Committee, and this is pretty exciting. And it's obviously at a very strange time. COVID turned our world upside down. It turned my community upside down. All of these organizations. And what I've seen as a trustee is, kind of speaking at a very high level, it forced the question that we had to ask ourselves is, what do we mean to the community? Each one of us, what do our organizations mean? And then the even more painful and the frightening question is, do we matter? Do we matter? Can people envision Portsmouth, the Seacoast, without us? That's a terrifying proposition, and so I hope the answer is no for every organization represented here. And I know I love so many of the ones that I'm looking at. And what we have found with the Seacoast Rep in doing some fundraising, which was really needed. We were in a really tough spot. We're still in a tough spot. But we've launched a couple fundraisers. One we called Bridge the Gap, and it was we had an anonymous donor who had offered to match dollar for dollar up to $100,000, and so we did an outreach, to our database and through social. And we've been blown away by the response, checks for $10, checks for $1,000, people who've never donated before. We matter, and, we realize now that we have to have, just like a good like a relationship with a friend or a loved one, we've got to make sure that we're nurturing the relationship we have with the Seacoast community. Can't take it for granted. We've got to make sure that we're saying thank you to the people who like us already, and we're saying hello to the people who don't know us yet. And that's been a big part of, my, taking the chair position for our development committee is, how do we, in an authentic, genuine, approachable, inclusive way, spread the passion that we have for live theater on the Seacoast. And we're just seeing some amazing things. I think these times are amazing times, and there's a lot of amazing people who are who are stepping up, and I've had the great opportunity to meet a lot of them, and to know that these organizations in a town that I've been in for generations, that these organizations are in the hands of people who are so committed, so passionate, so professional. I get to go back and tell all the people I grew up with that these places, these organizations that we treasure, are in really, really good hands. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox for a second, but I'm just really, I'm thrilled to know that these types of gatherings are happening all the time and in different forums and different sizes. Problem solving, trying to figure out how do we get to tomorrow. We'll worry about the next day, maybe the next day. But it is cool to see our horizons pushing out further right now as vaccine rates go up and hospitalizations go down. Right now, the Seacoast Rep, we're open. We're doing live performances, and we have been for some time. We're a couple hundred seat theater, and at the allowed 75% capacity with the social distancing required, we're actually at about 30%. And as it moves to 3 feet, we're going to be able to put more people in there. And we're working on our ticketing system and our seating system so that we can understand how to do that safely. In the meantime, I'm out, doing whatever I can to find new friends and to find people who will help us kind of get through. Because the couple words that I heard, Beth and Russell mentioned, recovery and reimagining. What a wonderful word that actually is, reimagining. Trying to see what this organization can become, as we move forward. And one of the things that the Seacoast Rep was able to do was pivot to live streaming, something they hadn't done before. And what live streaming has actually done for us, and it certainly did not make up for the lost ticket sales, but what it did was we kept putting on shows. Our actors kept working. Our artistic directors kept creating. And we had people from Georgia, people from South Carolina watching our shows. They couldn't do that before. And so, there's no cap on the number of live stream viewers that we can have. There's a cap on the number of seats we can sell. So what does it look like moving forward? Are we doing a hybrid model where we have live performances, but we're still live streaming? That's something we're talking about. We're upgrading our live streaming equipment. We're talking with the equipment manufacturer who supplies us that is actually talking to us about doing some sponsorship and doing testimonials for them. And so there's opportunity, and but we're fighting to make sure that we're live to take advantage of some of those opportunities. And so fundraising right now is really important. And I was lucky enough to be at a fundraiser yesterday and with some local developers, contributing to the art. And we're seeing people step up, and that's part of my mandate right now, is to find more people. And we've got great programming. So just to make sure I don't miss that, right now with our winter block, we've got a show called Stokely and Martin. We've got the Fantastics playing. Our spring block is coming up with a 5-time Tony Award winner, Fun Home, Godspell. And then the summer block will include Pippin and Cabaret. So great shows. And, we're obviously hoping to put more butts in seats and deliver more smiles and stay true to our mission of sharing live theater with the Seacoast. So, we're excited. We're challenged for sure. We don't have an executive director right now, so the board is operating. We're very much involved at the operational level. It's not where I want to be. That's not what I'm best at. I'm looking forward to to getting somebody in there who's going to run our organization. And I do believe, however, with the board makeup we have now and the commitment we're getting from our patrons and our fans, that really good things lie ahead. So I'm excited to see what comes.
That's great. Thank you, Jason. And I know Seacoast Rep was really on the forefront of the streaming side of things and was very aggressive in that. And Ben and Brandon, they're phenomenal, and the product that they put out is always top notch. So we're very excited for that. Let's see, who are we going to next? Kind of lost track here. All right, we are going to go. Oh, that's right. We're going to our friends over at the Music Hall. Yes, who right now I think are hosting Senator Shaheen talking about arts funding and the new relief package. So there's all sorts of cool stuff going on there, and I hope everybody has the opportunity to hear what she has to say today and learn more about that, because that's a phenomenal opportunity. So Brittany is here with us. Hey, Brittany.
Hi, I'm Brittany Wilson from the Music Hall. Sorry you don't get Monty or Tina, but you get me. It's just so cool to hear what everybody's up to and to hear the resilience that's going on in our community. so grateful to be a part of this and to have grown up here and lived here forever. And we're also so grateful for the support from Governor Sununu and his task force for what they've been doing for the community and for the arts organizations as well. Our summer and spring are shaping up nicely. We have been open, reduced capacity. We're about 250 seats in our 900 seat theater, and booking kind of the smaller artists for that space there. We have had success around live streaming as well. We are experimenting with hybrid formats. We're integrating that into our business model because we have seen, like many others here on the call, a wide range of people down in Argentina or Canada. So it's really cool to see that working. We have our Live Under the Arch series coming back this summer as well. We'll be announcing shows shortly. The cabaret style seating out on the Chestnut Street under the Chestnut Street Arch. Really stoked for that to return. We're excited, of course, to work with Genevieve and the New Hampshire Theater Project, as well as we're going to work with Gather again for our annual Fill the Hall, which was so successful last year because of the pandemic, and we hope that we can do that again. We are also working with the Black Heritage Trail of New Hampshire for Juneteenth programming, and we should have more on that soon. And let's see what else. And, you know, we'll always have a few irons in the fire and working on a few big projects, and can't wait to share that all with the community. So thanks all.
Thank you. And I enjoyed some of the streaming shows that are recently done there. They were very well done, very professional. I really, it was a fun night. Cocktails are cheaper at home, so that's always, you know, a plus, I'll say. But it was a great evening, so thank you for that. All right, so now we want to include, you know, we've heard a lot of performance spaces. We want to go and hear from Renee at the New Hampshire Arts Association, talk about some of the more visual arts and that. So Renee, what's going on with you in there?
Yeah, hi. So I do actually have just 3 charts because I'm from a visual arts organization and I'm better visually. So let me try to share my screen and give you an idea what's going on. So let me see if I can do the little trick and have you see only the, let's see, is it working? There we go. Okay. So again, I'm the president of the New Hampshire Art Association, and we're really proud of the fact that we just celebrated our 80th year of existence of bringing local arts and bringing the visual arts to the public, supporting local artists. And we were just recently featured on Chronicle. I don't know if any of you saw that, but if you want to see the link, you can go to our website and the link to that event is on there. But we are the oldest art association in New Hampshire. We're one of the oldest in the country. And we have approximately 300 juried artist members that are regional artists. And I have underlined both regional and juried because both of those things are important. We support local arts and local artists. And all of our members are juried into the association, which means they needed to submit work and be invited to join. So what that means to the public is when they come in and they see artwork that we have, they know it's quality artwork from our artists. And I put down here, yes, we sell art, because it seems that even though we've been around for all this time, we constantly get comments, oh, I didn't know you sold art in that gallery. I don't know what they thought we were, maybe just a museum of some sort, but yes, everything we have in the gallery is for sale. And I would ask all of you, if you have not been to the New Hampshire Art Association, that you get there, because it's definitely worth a visit, and it definitely has changed quite a lot in the last several years. We've made so many improvements and so many changes, it's really worth going to. So let me just share a little with you about what's on the horizon. Like all of you, we had a tough year last year. We took advantage of that time to really plan for this year, and to also plan, as I heard some of you say, to move our exhibits online. But we do have a number of exhibits coming up. Right now in March, we've got a large works exhibit, which we haven't done in a while, which means all the pieces in that exhibit are over 48 inches. And we've been getting a lot of requests from members for that. And we thought the public would want it too. And we were right, because we sold 2 pieces within the first 24 hours that we had the exhibit up. So I would encourage you to come over and see that. And also currently in March, we've got an exhibit called On the Bright Side. And we thought what better time after this pandemic than to offer something real uplifting. So all the pieces are colorful and cheery and uplifting. And we've had success with selling pieces out of that exhibit as well. So I'd encourage you to go over and see that. In April, we've got our 35th annual Omar T. Lasan Jurd exhibit. We've got 93 pieces accepted. This is one of the 3 exhibits in the year that's also open to non-member artists. We had over, I think, 320 entries into it this year, which is kind of record breaking for us. It's a very prestigious exhibit. And what that means is that when you come and see that exhibit, which is running actually for 2 months, April and May, it's really high quality work. So I would encourage you to come over and see that. And in addition to the Omar Lassand exhibit, at the same time in the gallery, we have member body of work exhibits. We've got 8 artists members featured, and they've each got a wall of their art. So instead of putting 1 or 2 pieces in, they've got their entire wall to kind of tell their story and what are they about and what's their body of work. In May, Lasan continues, and we've got some additional gallery rental artists, which means our members have rented an entire gallery, which is a room in our gallery space, and we've got 7 artists doing that. And if that sounds like we have a large space, we actually are much larger than most people think. We have a lot of comments when people come into the gallery. They say, "Oh, I didn't realize you had this much space. You know, we thought it was just one little room in the front." And really, there are multiple rooms within the gallery. It's very deceiving from the street. So we typically have hundreds of pieces of art in there, and we do change the art over every month. So we've got a constant rotation of hundreds of pieces of art coming in and going out. In June, we're going to have a special member exhibit. And then in July and August, we're really looking forward to getting back to Prescott Park, we hope. We rent the Sheaf Warehouse for the July and August from the city. And it's been very successful for us. We're hoping now, hearing all the plans, I'm so happy to hear about the Arts Festival being there, and the Gundalo and the New Hampshire Art Association share the Sheaf Warehouse. And we're hoping that we can be able to do that again this year. And we'll also have gallery exhibits. And then in August, continuing with the Sheaf, hopefully, and then we also have our annual Jack Parfit Jurd exhibit, and this is all dedicated to photography. Some really high quality work. This is again open to public. This is one of the open to non-member artists, and it is a Jurd exhibit. And as I mentioned, all of our exhibits are now online, and we knew we had to get there. The pandemic kind of pushed us to do that quicker than we thought we would get there, but we're there now, and we've actually been blown away with the effect that that's had. Some people see the work online and then they come in the gallery and take a look at it and buy it. Some of them see it online and just purchase it online outright. So it's been really, you know, we sort of had to change the paradigm of thinking that, well, if somebody buys art, they've got to see it in person and touch it and feel it. And they don't always have to do that. Some people, yes, do, but not all do. So we're really happy to started having success with that. And so this is the last chart I just wanted to show you. We participate in the Art Around Town First Friday receptions. Now, as you all know, because of the pandemic, we really haven't been able to do that in person. Most of the organizations have not. So currently we're running Zoom receptions on the first Friday of the month. And we've actually had success with that too, because we have people that look at our Zoom reception and then come in to see the work and have purchased it as a result of that. But we hope soon to get back to in person, where people can have wine and cheese and wander around Portsmouth. I think that helps all of us on Friday nights when we start to get that traffic back into the city. We're also coming back with some classes and workshops that we have in the works, and they'll be posted soon on our website. I mentioned that we've got hundreds of new artwork, pieces of artwork each month. And again, I think that some people are surprised at that volume of artwork as well. So it's a wide variety of mediums and prices, anything in the visual arts we represent. It's great. We find a lot of people in the summer coming in, and they're visiting the area, and they may want to take home a piece of the seacoast. And what better way to do that than to take home a piece of art? We do have gift certificates available now. So if people want to purchase a gift of art and they're not exactly sure what their person wants, they can have a gift certificate. We can sell them a gift certificate in any denomination to give as a gift. And we've also, I heard somebody else mention viewing by appointment. There are some people that still, we've done a lot in the gallery to add air purifiers, to add, the plexiglass screens for when you check out, and to limit the number of people in the gallery. But some people still may be a little uncomfortable. So we've now offered viewing by appointment. So anyone can come and say, I'd like to take a look, or I saw something online. I don't feel comfortable when you're open. Can we schedule it at off hours? And we're more than happy to do that. So I've listed our website at the bottom. I would encourage you to go there. That's going to have all of the latest in terms of what exhibits we have going on. Please make it a point to come and visit us. And I am personally I've been to many of your organization facilities, but I'm going to make it a point to go out to those that I have not been to. And I'm hoping you do the same. We'd love to host you there. So thank you.
Thank you, Renee. Appreciate that. We have 3 organizations left to go, and we have about 10 minutes to do it in. So we're going to have to pick up our pace just a touch. So we are going to jump to Russ at PMAC, and then we'll go to Barbara and Ed at Players Ring. So
Thanks, Ben.
Russ, you're in the sunshine. Looks good.
Yes, I am. The sun's it's setting later and later, so it's not directly in my eyes quite yet. I'll keep this quick for you. So this summer, we're really excited, as Jen had mentioned earlier, that we're going to be putting up a 40 by 60 foot tent in our parking lot. It was actually inspired by the parking lot tent that went up with the chamber event several years ago. It gave us the idea. It's going to allow us to have art summer camps and music summer camps for kids outdoors. We feel that's absolutely vital that kids are back together making music and making art together. And we want to do it in the safest way possible so that the children feel comfortable, that the parents feel comfortable. So we are doing 4 weeks of outdoor summer camps under a tent in our parking lot. We've never done this before. It's really exciting. We will also have some Saturday afternoon community concerts by faculty members underneath the tent. And of course, New Hampshire Theater Project will be utilizing the tent for some of their programs as well. But really the primary purpose of this tent is to provide outdoor safe space for children to come together throughout the summer and make music and art together in a safe way. So we're really, really very excited about that. The only other thing that I'll mention is that, well, 2 things. PMAC has utilized the changes that have happened as a result of the pandemic to launch a whole new online wing to what we do, PMAC Play, which is online music programs. So, you can go to our website, which I just put in the chat, to check out PMAC Play. And then the other thing is we're really excited and grateful to 3S Art Space for being selected as one of the charities that's going to be able to give a live streamed fundraising event at 3S Art Space this spring. And our event's going to be on Friday, April 9th. And Marco Benevento, a well-known jazz pianist, will be a part of that event, live streaming from his studio in New York City. So you can check that event out on our webpage as well. And we hope people come out and support PMAC at that event. But that's it for me, Ben. I'll pass it along to the Players Ring.
All right, here we go. Players Ring. We're moving right along. So we have 2 folks from Player Ring. We have Barbara and Ed. I'm not sure who's going to speak, but I'm sure one of you will. So.
Yeah, no, I'll start here. I'm over here where it says Players Ring. I'm Ed Simeone, although I've been a board member for a couple of years right now. This is my first time with all of you, and so I'm glad to hear what's going on in the community. Ben, I do have a presentation. It's very, very short. It's only 75 slides of charts and graphs, but I'll go through it very, very quickly. Let's do this. And okay, can you all see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. I'm calling it the new players ring because there is sort of this renaissance that's going on in the ring right now. And let me tell you what that means. Um, we're looking at our expanding the mission of this theater for the past 30 years. And yes, this is going to be our 30th season right now. We have really focused on promoting local performance artists and providing that space for the production of their art. And what we're trying to do now is to expand that a little bit more by, sorry, let me just move this out of the way. Can you see the entire presentation? Or are you just seeing,
No.
because we have the gallery up here. Okay, I won't worry about that. It's probably showing right through that. Anyway, we're talking about, becoming, offering the Seacoast's most intimate and distinctive theatrical experiences by embracing artistic creativity and by engaging our audiences. That's not our official mission, but that's sort of the direction in which we're going right now. And there are some words in there that become very, very critical to what we're going to be doing with this theater. And what I mean is this: we are in a hiatus right now. We did try live programming in the fall. It was successful in terms of the productions that we did, but there was a reticence on the part of people to show up. So some days we had our capacity of 30 people, other days we had 3 people, and others we had to cancel. So we decided then, given the reticence of audiences to attend, given the reticence of actors to get together, we decided to go on hiatus. And what we're doing in this period of time right now is we're looking at our building and trying to get the things done that we've not been able to do. Get our air conditioning installed, get that bathroom installed on the 2nd floor, create some more rehearsal space, create a new lobby area, take that new lobby and make a museum of the history of this theater, which is really quite incredible over the past 30 years. And I think the audiences need to know about that. With our 30th season coming up, this gives us the opportunity to plan this unencumbered by any operations at this point. And so we are talking about a September 2021 opening. This does not mean that we are not going to do some things with other organizations in town before then. It also does mean that we may be doing some streaming with some organizations in town. But in terms of live performance, we're talking about the September of 2021. So what is our focus until we get to that period of time? Engagement is very, very key. We've been holding audience focus groups. We've been holding producer focus groups and advisory groups. We are trying to get these people more engaged in what we are doing with this theater, because I think that's the key to success. We're starting to have some conversations with some of you who are on this call right now. In terms of things that we can do with you, things that we have not done as much in the past that we think in the future we should be doing. We have a new staff. We hired a managing director about 6 months ago, Matthew Parent, who has managed various equity theaters on in the East Coast, and I met him when he was the producing artistic director at the American Stage Festival in Milford, New Hampshire, several years ago. And some of you may have already met our productions director, Margarita Jacobi, who has worked at La Scala in Italy and worked with events at the Dubai Opera House. We're very fortunate to have this caliber of individual at our little theater. We've also expanded our board. We're going to be focusing more on development and on more financial management. We're going to be developing more in our community relations, getting out into the community and understanding how we can be more a part of it and how we can contribute more to it. And also we want to focus more on strategic development. What is the vision of this theater? Where does it need to go over the next 5 to 10 years, especially given the new focus of the mission that we discussed? Experience is very, very critical. We now want to make certain that those things that we select, original works, established works, are of the highest possible quality to make certain that the audience experience is the highest possible experience that we can deliver. We want to diversify our programming. We will continue with the originals and the established, but we want to expand into comedy. We want to expand into musical performances, and we will see some of that coming up. Educational programming has been an area that I've really wanted to focus on for a long time, and we're just starting to dip our toes into the water here. But I'm conducting quarterly Ring Readers Club, where we take a show. We have about 35 to 40 people who get online, read the show, and then we have a discussion of the show with the playwright, which usually helps the playwright in terms of rewriting the play in preparation for production. And then, of course, is our 30th season. We want to be featuring things like David Moriello, who's been with our organization for 30 years, and do a film and play festival of his work. We want to go back and look at some of Gary Newton's work and feature some of that. We want to look at some of the producers who have been and directors and actors who have been the most popular over the past 30 years and bring them back to do shows that are either new shows or shows in the past that have been audience favorites. So the 30th season is going to be quite exciting for us. All in all, I think what we're trying to do is when you create that experience and when you gauge that audience, we want it to be a destination, not only a destination as the ring for this community, but as part of the Portsmouth community to draw more people into this region, to take advantage of the incredible cultural activities that this community has to offer. So we're really looking forward not only to the next 6 months until we get this theater open, but the next 5 to 10 years as we evolve this theater into something even greater than it has been.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks. It sounds like you guys have been very busy and have a lot going on, and the future is bright for the Players Ring. Appreciate you sharing all that. Suzanne from Portsmouth Symphony Orchestra just had to jump. She has another meeting starting at 2, so she will not get to share with us. And I was really disappointed about that because they had some great stuff going on, the little pop-up things they did, and I loved hearing what they had going on. So I guess we have like 2 minutes. Does anyone have any burning questions? I know Gunkwit Playhouse is here. I'd love to hear from them, but we're kind of running out of time. If someone from a Gunkwit wants to share for 30 seconds.
Yeah, we can tease quickly. We're still 2 weeks ahead of making a formal announcement, but we too will be heading outside for the summer with a new venue we're building socially distanced on our campus in the parking lot. And 4 main stage shows. Again, like Russ was saying, we're doing a full slate of outdoor youth programming to get the kids involved in camps and performances. And we're bringing back our patio cabaret series that sold out last summer.
All right, fantastic. It's great to hear that there will be art up in Gunkwit again. I know people have to jump because they're at our final 2 minutes here, but I just want to thank everyone for being here. We were going to share a little clip. I think we ran out of time, so we're going to go ahead and skip that today. And Valerie will be disappointed in me, but that's okay. It's not the first time, so it'll be all right. But thank you all for being here. Get out there, support our arts, go to a show, buy some art, visit our vendors, support these artists who have been there for us and been so creative over this past year. It's such a huge part of our community, and it's also just it's an economic driver, no doubt about it. So get out there and go out and enjoy it all. So thank you all. Have a wonderful weekend. Stay safe, get that vaccine, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care.
Okay, thank you.